Hey, I'm Kev, Mr. Car. Welcome to GameStop Stream. Been a while since I've shown this on this channel, and today we've been driving has the 2014 Stock Car Brazil champion Rubens Barrichello in his medley full-time sports Chevrolet V8 stock car from 2014. But his numbers Nelson. Going to be driving one arm, one eye, and one leg. This could be disaster in the race. I'm about to show you around the Buenos Aries Circuito number 15 configuration with that wonderful lake extension with the long straights and fast right hand bend, which used to hold the F1 Argentinian Grand Prix from 1974 to 1981. You may have previously seen me show you the Buenos Aires Circuito number 6 configuration in the Formula V car on this channel. I also used to hold the Argentinian F1 Grand Prix from 1995 to 1998. But today I'm showing you a 20-minute timed race starting at 5:30 local time in game, and I've got my start position set at 20th, but I've got a qualifying session on because that start position doesn't actually work with this circuit, so Reiza got to fix that little bug in the next update. So I've got a qualifying session set, going to skip that. I'm going to start 24th against 23 AI opponents with 50% AI aggression set, 50% damage multiplier, the normal parameters I set, but AI strength is a bit lower than normal at 85%, just because I did a few practice laps. I wasn't very good on the circuit in practice, and it's been a while since I played this game before I recorded. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Let's go to the race. And the Buenos Aires track, as you can see, the opening chicane here, and then this fast, brave, long right hand, my favourite corner on this configuration. Then the tricky hairpin in the middle of the lap, and the last chicane, which leads to another tricky hairpin, the final corner. As you can see, we've got some lovely evening sun. The flags are gently waving, the engines are roaring, and the crowd is going wild on the left hand side as we wait for the lights to appear and go out, and we almost stall on the start there. Not a great start for us to this 20-minute timed race, as I'm going to talk through this configuration. You haven't seen it before this on this opening lap, then we'll go into the topic in hand for this video. As we approach turn 1 now, being cautious in 4th gear, normally take this in 5th and then drop to 4th for this second left-hander. We're being cautious, but the AI are being overly cautious, I believe, on this opening lap as whoa! What happened to the AI on our right hand side? Something went wrong there. Did his wing go? Just some crazy shenanigans already on this opening lap as we got this straight heading towards this long right hander as we take a confident lift normally in 6th gear and then carry 6th and then have a bigger lift on the exit in 6th gear. But on this opening lap we're down to 5th as we got to wait for the AI here, as I said, being overly cautious I believe on this opening lap, and we just want to get a good run on this long back straight, get on the power early, get a good exit, do not cut the grass like I did as you'll see in there. But we're still in the slipstream of Ricardo Zonta in front of us, the former F1 rival of Barrichello from 99 and 2000 when Zonta was at BAR and Barrichello was at Stewart and Fry, but they didn't really fight like we're doing in this race as we get into the top 20 by blasting Zonta now into a tricky right, left, right complex of corners as Zonta gives us a bump from behind. Maybe he's got some wounds from those F1 days. God, I was just jealous of the reigning Brazilian stock car champion as you go through that right hander. Got a bump in the middle of that corner, so very tricky to do it flat out. But into this right hand hairpin, you've got to be so careful with the throttle on the exit or you will have trouble, and I do have trouble this race, believe me. You will see later as you go through flat out, and then a dab on the brakes into that left hand and a bigger dab of the brakes into this left hand to get down the 2nd gear. I'd never really got this corner right throughout this whole race, apart from this first lap. It seems that was nicely done. But up to 4th gear now for this final chicane of the lap. We go virtually flat out through the first left, then into the right, dab the brakes in the middle of it, and whoa, we've got to dab the brakes a bit more as there's chaos in front. The AI seem to be having trouble with that corner, and we go into the last hairpin where again you've got to be very careful on the power, so you will be having trouble out of it, and flat out left kink even onto the start finish straight and the end of the first lap as we're back down the trench, back behind Zonta. Maybe a revenge bump into the first corner, but yeah, you've got to watch out for that AI into the last chicane. They seem to have trouble with that, particularly if they're alongside each other, but you'll see later they just seem to have trouble with that last chicane in general. So you know, got to be careful into that kind of last chicane on this configuration of this Buenos Aires track as we get past Zonta in the first chicane, and we're back into 19th and pushing for a top 10 finish, which is our aim for this race. But let's talk about the main topic now of this video as I talked to you about this track, as the AI seemed a bit slow through this fast right hander, as just me talk about Reiza, talk about GameStop Kart Stream, talk about Formula Truck, and talk about the big thing for them at the moment, which is going onto Steam. Talk about the big advantages for Reiza going onto Steam now, and talk about a bit about news from Formula Truck as well, and other news for Reiza, what they've just basically been doing since my last video featuring this game at the end of September. It's been a busy few months for them, and they're one of the busiest sim developers around. You know, normally sim developers are focusing on one thing, say Kunos with Assetto Corsa, iRacing with iRacing, and ISI with R-Factor 2, Sector 3 with Racing Experience. But Reiza Studios, they've got this game, they've got Formula Trucks, they've got the transition to Steam, as I said. They're working with ISI to bring their Sao Paulo track to R-Factor 2, which they announced at the end of October, and could be the first of many possible tracks made by Reiza coming to R-Factor 2, you know, having this collaboration. And maybe they could upgrade to the G-Motor engine as well. They're on the G-Motor 2, the R-Factor engine. Maybe get the R-Factor 2 engine in the future, you never know. But yeah, lots of things for Reiza to be doing. As I said, very busy couple of months for them, and very busy 2015 it looks like it will be for them as well, as they're taking a big step forward for this company though. But we get back to that big step forward, that move to Steam later. But let's talk about Kart Stream and talk about the news basically for this, as I'm just going to update you with the news. I think all of the news, well, my sources in the description below for all this news if you've just missed out. And you know, I just want to inform you in this video, you know, inform you about Kart Stream, inform you about just basically Reiza news. As I said, one of my favourite developers around, one of the busiest around as well. And since my last video in September, there's been some news about Kart Stream, but there was some news about the next version 1.25 update before that release of version 1.2, the last big update for this game back in August, where in July we had preview of Kyle Army and a preview of Imola, which I'm not sure if that will be on the version 1.25 update, but it is coming to this sim. And that was back in July we had those previews, and since then we have some more previews of those tracks that are coming in the version 1.25 update, such as at the end of August, just after they had patched the version 1.2 to version 1.21, the current version of Kart Stream, which does provide some fixes for some bugs that came with the version 1.2 update. And along with those fixes to this game, we had the preview of new cars such as supercarts maybe for version 1.25, which look fantastic, and tracks current and historic, such as the historic Johannesburg circuit, the old Kyle Army circuit, which is coming to this sim, which looked brilliant, one of my favourite tracks from Grand Prix Legends back in the day. And about a week after, they provided some screenshots of these previews of these new things coming to Kart Stream at the end of August. At the beginning of October, they provided us a video of the Formula Extreme round this Buenos Aries track, round this configuration, of some physics updates to bring into the game, such as the tyres flexing, flat spotting when you look up, and picking up some dirt as well if you go onto the grass, and the wings on that Formula Extreme car kind of flexing, shaking under the load they're under, and it just looked fantastic in that video, you know, especially around that long right hander they showed you, you know, the wings flexing, you know, it was great to see. And they're also, you couldn't really see it in that video, but they're improving the drivetrain physics, improving the turbo modeling in the game as well, and specifically for that car as well, gearbox simulation and full ERS functionality, because at the moment that Formula Extreme car just has full power everywhere. It's not like in real life with the F1 2014 rules and regulations where, you know, they have limited ERS functionality, you know, around the nav is not always full power. So that's coming to that car as well in the next update, it seems. But in general, watching that video just makes you very excited for what Reiza Studios are doing with this old G-Motor 2 engine, what they're able to extract from this and what they're able to add to the game as well. And at the end of October, they're very consistent with these updates, Reiza. They're very consistent with news they're bringing to us in these last few months. They showed us more screenshots of the classic Johannesburg track, that old Kyle Army circuit, as I said, with the Formula Retro cars on it. And it seems like there's a new Formula Retro car, or new model of Formula Retro car as well, based on the old mid-70s Brabham. It seems we already have the officially licensed Felipe Coppasuca Formula Retro car in the game, so maybe we're going to have a different one as well. And I would love that, as I told you, that hairpin causes troubles, and now we're back from a top 15 position to almost outside the top 20. But yeah, we've got lots of laps to battle up towards that top 10 finish. But yeah, maybe having a new Formula Retro car in the game based on the Brabham, based on one of my favourite designers of all time, Gordon Murray's creations from the mid-70s with Brabham. Can't wait to try that out if, you know, that is added in the next update. But the classic Johannesburg definitely is the old Kyalami circuit, fast, flowing, short, just about a minute lap in the old GPL, and I can't wait to see it in Games.Kart Stream. One of my old classic favourite tracks, one of my favourites as well. And in November, Games.Kart Stream, every other project Reiza Studios had just took a back seat in November, because Copa Petrobras de Marcas was released. It was revealed at the beginning of November and then released at the end of November. There were some issues with it, unfortunately, and then at the beginning of December those issues were patched and mostly fixed, and it was updated to version 1.02, that game in its current version. And it is a very good game, especially for being free. You know, it's paid for by Petrobras, the main sponsor of the Brazilian touring car series that the game is based on, and it was a very good job from Reiza, usual good job. You know, my main kind of myth with the game was maybe the limited, you know, content that you had with that game, but I understand it's just basically promotion for that series, and it's done a very good job of it. And also that, you know, the cars that I'm driving, I don't really like front wheel drive touring cars, but they're great fun. As I said, Reiza did a good job with the physics, and in general I did enjoy that game for the limited time I've played it. And that's, you know, that says something about Reiza, how they made something that I normally wouldn't like, how I did quite enjoy it, have good fun with that game in the end. And then after the fixes, after we had the Copa Petrobras de Marcas come out, then in mid-December, about a month ago, we had a new video of Games.Kart Stream, of the new update, of the version 1.25 updates. And this was a kart race around Ortona, apologise, I said that wrong, an Italian kart track, which will be coming to this game in the next big update. And they showed a race round it, and it looks like it's a very tricky kart track, has lots of chicanes, very easy to spin out, and yeah, can't wait to race around there. Maybe not against the AI, as it could get fast first, very aggressive, could be lots of spins as you're seeing in this race. It could get very dangerous out there for my virtual self in those karts. But yeah, I just love that they had in kart content as well. The karts in this game are fantastic to drive, really good fun, and yeah, just can't wait to see all of this new content in this game. But we're gonna have to wait a while, unfortunately, as in mid-December as well, with the release of that video, Reiza did update what they're basically doing, and that is that everything's going to be on hold until these games, Formula Truck 2013 and Games.Kart Stream, or Stock Kart Stream as it's known on their Steam page, are going to be released on Steam. That's their only focus at the moment. They said in mid-December on the statement on their Facebook page, is that this is their focus, to get these games on Steam, because being on Steam is a big deal if you're a PC studio, basically, because it is the main big PC platform. That's where you want your game to be, that's where you get the most eyes on it, and that's what Reiza Studios are working towards, as they gave us a little tease of them being on Steam at the end of November with a screenshot of Formula Truck 2013 and Stock Kart Stream in a Steam library. And then I said that at mid-December update, and they had those games with their Steam pages on the storefront, you know, just waiting for them to be released. But then those pages got removed about a week ago, it seemed. And on the race department forums, from what I could see, where Reiza are quite active, they're always you know, communicating with the community, and if you really want to get in touch with them, that's a very good place to do it. And they basically said that they had unexpected difficulties adding these games to Steam, and that's why they removed the pages. But once those pages got up, they said that, you know, the games will be released soon after. And those pages went back up, from what I could tell, yesterday on Steam. When I logged in, you know, they were there. You know, they had Formula Truck 2013 and Stock Kart Stream, and so hopefully those releases will be coming soon on Steam, because this is a big deal. This is where you want your game to be, as I said, if you're a PC Studio, because as I said, Steam basically has the market share, has the huge market share on the PC market. It's where you get the most eyes on your game. You know, you go to the racing sub category and then you see a Reiza game and then you're getting thousands of eyes on it, much more than it probably is currently. And it's much easier for the developer to say update the game as well. It's just more convenient, basically. Steam is, you know, it's more convenient for marketing, more convenient for developers, more convenient for us as well, as Steam is kind of this kind of store, I would say, but not really. You know, it kind of just holds your games there and you can just download them there or install them from there, and they just keep track of it, Steam. And it makes it easier for us to update the game, as we just have to click download at the moment. If we have to update the game from, say, version 1.2 to 1.25, we might have to reinstall the whole game if the update isn't working, if the sync isn't working, or we have to download the separate packages updates for the game, you know, from, say, some random file sharing site. Then we have to install that manually, and if that doesn't work, then we have to work out some fixes, have to do some workarounds, and yeah, it can be a lot of hassle updating the game from one big update to another. And so with Steam, that will be much easier for us to do, much easier for the developer to do as well. And they got a good sim racing community already, and you know, it will give more eyes, you put more eyes on the game from other sim racers as well, who might not be aware of, you know, Games.kart Stream. As I say, it's probably the most underrated, overlooked sim out there, because hardly anyone knows about, hardly anyone plays it seems, or knows about it. Every time I say talk to someone on YouTube or ever show my video, after time they don't know that this game exists. So yeah, it's very good for Reiza. As I said, there's a sim racing community already there. You got Assetto Corsa with Kunis, you got Sector 3 with their race from racing experience. iRacing has just been added as well. I would renew my membership right now just to watch the rookie races in iRacing now. I guess it will be great theatre there. And I also have ISI with R Factor, hoping to add that to Steam as well. That's on the Green Knight pages. And so you have all of these sim games already there. You have Sinbid, you know, the old Sinbid studio with all of their games there, basically with GT Legends, GTR, GTR2, Race 07, all of the race expansions, everything from Sinbid seems to be there as well. So you've got this great sim racing community already there, and just adding, you know, Reiza Studios games there, it just makes you realise how lucky we are as sim racers at this period of time, having so much competition and choice. You know, even with rallying with Richard Burns Rally, even though there hasn't been a great successor there in the rallying like sim racing games, but we still got Richard Burns Rally. It's still fun, and that's updated every year with new mods, and now that's got great support as well from, you know, modders and from the rallying sim community. And with these racing games as well, we have great choice. We could drive virtually anything with, you know, mods that we can add to all of these games as well. And once again, I'm having trouble with that hairpin. Lucky it doesn't cost us a position this time, but it lost us lots of time later in the race. Now we've got less time to make up on Max Wilson in front of us. And yeah, just having these games from Reiza on this community, you know, it just makes us realise how lucky we are, and it's just easier for everyone involved with these games, as us as players and as them as developers, just to update this game and just play this game, and, you know, hopefully build a bit more of a community with this game, as well as it's mainly just with league and clubs that you will get online racing. And, you know, with it being on Steam, maybe that will increase that online racing as well, and that might be a negative as well. Maybe you get some guys who are just not used to sims and, you know, just get a bit aggressive online and are not very good. But, you know, if you're in a club or league racing, you know, that wouldn't really affect you. You know, you will just, you know, have your usual high standard of racing. I'm assuming you will have there. But another negative is that sometimes I have issues with Steam with my wheel. Maybe I just need to install it somewhere else or reinstall Steam. But that's why I don't really play, say, racing games in Steam, because I just have issues getting my wheel to work, getting it set up. And I particularly had this with racing experience, but apparently that's better now with, you know, the updates that Sector 3 have given to racing experience. About a year ago I was really having troubles with racing experience, and basically I just found it boring as well. But in the past year, Sector 3 have just basically turned that game around. It's one of the hot new things out there now. It's got DTM 1992 recently, a fantastic looking update, and it just seems like that game's night and day from where it was a year ago, and brilliant job from Sector 3, well done to them on that. But yeah, it looks like now with all these updates it's easy to get your wheel working with that game, and so maybe I have to try it again once again and race from racing experience. But yeah, that's my issue with Steam. Also modding it as well. You got this framework with Steam with where they want everything is. So if you're trying to mod something, say with GTR 2, they don't have all the licenses on the Steam version game, and so to get Ferraris in that game, you have the mod, you have to work round, you have to do all these things to get these Ferraris in that game, and so that can be tricky adding mods to the game. You got the Steam workplace, is it, or workshop? Sorry, got that wrong. Workshop in there, where they have mods there, and they're all official mods for the game, such as say Civ 5. Download a few mods there, or Democracy 3. But yeah, for sim racing, it doesn't seem like those are really supported with the Steam Workshop, so you have to work around, and that can be tricky as well. So a couple negatives to add in Reiza games to Steam, but in general, it's a fantastic move for them. I hope it brings more eyes to, as I say, one of the most overlooked sims out there in Games.Kart Stream, and Formula Trucks 2013 as well, which I've overlooked a bit in this video. So let's talk a bit about Formula Trucks as you're on this final lap, and I thought I set the time early enough that it wouldn't get dark and we wouldn't get the headlights, and unfortunately the frame rate does drop slightly in that stadium section at the beginning and the end of the lap, so I do apologise for that, but it doesn't look too noticeable, I don't think. Maybe if you watch it in 1080p or 720p, that's what I'm going to render it in, not 1080p, that would take me too long. But yeah, hopefully it's not too bad on your side watching the video. But yeah, Formula Truck 2013, I bought it yesterday before it came out on Steam, but because I said there's issues with the wheel and adding mods, I just wanted to try it before it's on Steam and see how it works and how it goes, and that's why I bought it before it's on Steam. Formula Truck 2013. And when Games.Kart Stream was updated to version 1.2, they talked about this extreme makeover for the game as well, similar to Games.Kart, where we're going to have Formula Truck having all these updates that have been added to Games.Kart Stream, and that was announced in mid-August last year. And then at the end of October, they gave us a little screenshot, a little preview as well, of diesel smoke being added to Formula Truck 2013, with a little minor touch, but it just adds to the realism. That's what we want as sim racers, the more realism in our sim racing games, and we definitely are getting that, especially with Oculus Rift as well. You have it with iRacing, Richard Burns Rally, R-Factor, and of course everything seems to have Oculus Rift support as well. And I apologise, I can't say that first word in that, but yeah, I hope you just enjoyed the gameplay in the background to make up the 7th place in the end. I hope you enjoyed the update as well. As I said, linking all of the news and everything, I'm getting all these news about Steam, about Games.Kart Stream and Formula Truck as well. And it looks like it's going to be a great year for Reiza Studios going ahead, as we finished 7th in the end, almost at the top 5. I'm surprised how bunched up the field was, but just another lap we probably would have got top 5. But hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I hope you enjoyed learning about Reiza Studios in the past couple of months. I'll be back with more Games.Kart Stream in the next few months, but sign up for watching, and I will see you next time.